have your feet on the dais. Mr. Konin Das. Mr. Konin Das. Mr. Pradipta Borua. Dr. C. Ramesh would be joining us online. And Mr. Honaton Deka. Thank you so much, everyone. Let me take the honor to introduce Dr. Bibhav Kumar Talukdar to our esteemed audience. Dr. Bibhav Kumar Talukdar has been engaged with wildlife research and conservation and one of the founders of Aranyok in 1989. He is the Secretary General and CEO of Aranyok and currently the chair of IUCN SSC, Assam Rhino Specialist Group and Senior Advisor of International Rhino Foundation for Asian Rhinos and African Rhino Specialist Group, etc. Dr. Talukdar is an Ashoka Fellow since 2007 and recipient of IUCN SSC's Chair Citation in 2008. He has served as a member of National Board of Wildlife (NBWL), including the Standing Committee of NBWL and Project Elephant Steering Committee formed by Government of India. He is also a member of Rhino Task Force of Assam and served as a member of State Board of Wildlife and Assam State Biodiversity Board. We take the pleasure to felicitate him with a Fulam Gamucha. I request Leena Bora Hazari ma'am to felicitate Dr. Bibhav Kumar Talukdar with a Fulam Gamucha. In this session, we have invited the park managers of National Parks of Assam, and they will be delivering speech and presenting on various conservation issues, including the present status of the National Parks of Assam. We are glad that they are amongst us today, and I would like to first introduce the first paper presenter would be Dr. Sonali Ghosh ma'am. She is an Indian forest officer with more than 23 years of work experience in the field of forest and natural heritage wildlife in Asia. As part of her job, she has worked as a field manager in UNESCO heritage sites of Kaziranga and Manas and has been a founding faculty at the UNESCO Category 2 Center on World Natural Heritage for Asia and the Pacific region. She served as the director of the National Zoo Delhi during the critical COVID time and also as the regional vice chair of IUCN World Commission on Protected Areas. We are very privileged that she is amongst us and she'll be delivering a paper today. I would request Dr. Omya Patar ma'am to felicitate Madam Sonali Ghosh with a poho. Our next presenter is Mr. Konin Das. Thank you, ma'am. Next is Mr. Pradipta Borua. He'll be presenting a paper on Orang National Park. He's a native of Nowgong and he joined Assam Forest Service in the year 1987. He has completed his postgraduate diploma in wildlife management from Dehradun in the year 2010-2011. He served as range officer in Kaziranga National Park and Tiger Reserve, Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary. After that, he served as divisional forest officer in Guwahati Wildlife Division, Dibrugarh Division, and presently holding the charge of Divisional Forest Officer in Mongoldoy Wildlife Division, come Field Director of Orang Tiger Reserve. We are indeed very privileged to have him amongst us, and he'll be felicitated by Dr. Jayanti Shaha ma'am with a poho. Due to some unavoidable reason, Dr. C. Ramesh has not been able to attend us in person, but he will be presenting his paper through online mode. Next, I would take the privilege to introduce Honaton Deka. Mr. Honaton Deka has been working with Wildlife Trust of India for the last 14 years. He is currently heading the Greater Manos Recovery Project. By profession, he is a sociologist, and now he is dedicated to wildlife conservation. He has a great contribution to the Raimona National Park and has received various national and international recognitions. We are very privileged, and I request Dr. Manashi to felicitate sir with a poho. That's the end of our felicitation ceremony. Now I hand over the agenda to the chairperson of the session, and he will be, proceeding with the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So in this session, we have 5, presenters. The time allotted is 25 minutes, but I would probably, encourage all the presenters to restrict their, talk within 20 minutes, so that 5 minutes we can earmark for discussion. So accordingly, I am seeking volunteer from the college who will give a first ring when 15 minutes is over. That means 5 minutes is left. And then, when the time is over, then there will be the second ring. So we know that all the presentations will be very much interesting, but then because of paucity of time, we have to restrict it so that, the other sessions also starts on time. So without losing much of the time, may I now request Dr. Sonali Ghosh to kindly present about Kaziranga. Thank you so much.
This, right? Yeah, thanks. Good morning to everybody. And Dr. Vibhav Talukdar, chairing the session, technical session. My colleagues from Orang, from Dibru-Saikhwa, Dr. Sanatan Deka, and of course the legends here who are sitting, Dr. Ranjit Singh sir, Dr. PCB sir, everybody else, Professor Kulen Das, and this wonderful, wonderful team of all you young girls. I was recalling when Ranjit Singh sir was, giving his talk, that such is the opportunity for all of you to now listen from the legends and get inspired. I was looking at one young boy there, the green shirt. He was writing notes, when sirs were speaking. See, this is a chance you will never get, despite having mobiles and Instas and Facebook. So please, make the best of this. Ask questions. One of my teachers told me, ask questions. You are supposed to be asking questions, because that's what students are supposed to do. You should have that curiosity, that wonder, that, okay, what is it that, how this happens, or what is it? So please take that opportunity. I will be, after this, I'll be going back, but, the stalwarts, the legends are here. Ranjit Singh sir is here with you. Catch him, okay? And get what you want in terms of, your own curiosity, your own interests, your own career paths. PCB sir is there, everybody is there. So first of all, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to come here. I know that all of you have worked very hard. Professor Kulen Das had contacted, I think, way back last year. He said that this workshop we want to do, and we want to plan. So a lot of hard work has gone into this, and this is for you students. So make the best of this and listen. How many of you are zoology or botany students? Raise your hands. Wonderful, everybody. So do you know of the species that is named after Ranjit Singh sir? Can anybody just stand and tell me? It was mentioned. Okay. I'm sure you know it, but it's a little, you're hesitant. Maybe you're scared. So imagine a species named after him, right? Of a person, and that person is sitting here. Cervus duasili Ranjit Singhi. That is the eastern swamp deer, which you get in Kaziranga. I think in Burasapuri also. It's very much close to your place, Dol Horina. Okay. So try to, understand in terms of what is close to you, and that's why I thought it's a little, the presentation is a little boring because I didn't have time, but I will try to show you something which is very close to your place. Most of you are from Nowgong or from the adjoining areas, I'm assuming, or are they from all over the state? Smarajit, are they mostly from here? Okay. So can anybody come and tell me where are we? Just come and just show point for everybody. Where are we sitting? And where are we in this map? If you all are hesitant, then I'll have to pull you out. I will call the green shirt person. Please come. You come. Where are we? Go to where? Kota, yeah. Okay, so is that correct? Where are we? Nowgong? Here, right? Let's give him a big hand first of all. What's your name?
Deepjyoti Bora.
Deepjyoti Bora. So Deepjyoti Bora amak dekhale ami yate bohi asu. Ar yar to uporot apnar uttorot duta bahut dangor sanctuaries ase. Kontu ase?
Laokhwa Burasapuri ase.
Laokhwa Burasapuri. Thank you. You can go in. So Laokhwa Burasapuri sanctuary, how many of you have gone there? Kone goise tate? Okay, good. Enekwa kele? Goise joa nai? Okay. Okay, good. So etia apna loke ei program to jetia hek hoye jabo. Tar pisot 1st October amar park bila khulibo. You all should go. Okay? You pester your teachers, you tell them we have to go to Burasapuri Laokhwa. And the reason being, I have traveled in Kaziranga, this entire, what you see, this entire, the blue, the green, that water, that entire thing is Kaziranga Tiger Reserve. Okay? It's a tiger reserve, but it is formed of smaller protected areas. It has a big chunk of the river, Brahmaputra. And I think Burasapuri Laokhwa is one of the finest of the protected areas as part of Kaziranga. But it is lesser known. So the reason being that, the focus, the national park started with Kaziranga. It started as 430 square kilometers. It has a higher density of most of our large mammals. So for example, the one-horned rhino. Now Kaziranga has 80% of the global population of the one-horned rhino. It is here. Then of course we have the Asiatic elephant, the tigers, swamp deers, that is the one, the Cervus duasili Ranjit Singhi, which is named after sir, the wild buffalo. But as sir was saying, it is not just about large mammals, it's not just about mega herbivores. You have 500 odd species of birds, the migratory birds which come to Kaziranga alone. And one particular area, can anybody, quiz question, tell me that one beel in entire Kaziranga which has the highest migratory birds? Anyone? Green shirt? No? Okay, what? Huh? Excellent, let's give him a big hand. In the entire 1305 square kilometers, Ro Mari Bil in Laukwa Burasapuri has the highest number of migratory birds which come in. Okay? So that's the reason when we design our policies, when we design our management, we are not just looking at rhinos, we are also looking at birds, we are looking at, tigers, we are looking at insects, frogs, and so on. So that is the beauty of learning about your habitat, knowing about the place where you live. And this is just recent. I don't know whether some of you have seen this ad which came out in the paper, and we said, okay, wow, 86% poaching reduction. Then 80% of the rhino is in Assam and in Kaziranga. And I wanted to show you 2 videos which are close to your home. Okay? The reason being, this is so close to your home that I really feel that you should go and see this area. Okay, so the first one, which we released on 22nd of September, I can. This is on Rhino Day. It's a very small video, but I think you will like it. Thank you. I'll play the second video later in the end. That is close to Burasapuri, the other one. But what are we trying to say? I mean, the topic here is ecosystem and wildlife of Assam. And what in the plenary session you heard both the speakers, they were saying that habitat is the most critical aspect when we look at wildlife, right? So if habitat is there, then the wildlife will come back. And especially for places like Assam, which is blessed with rainfall, with rich fertile lands, if the habitat is free of encroachment, then we will have the animals back. And that is what precisely happened in Burasapuri, because it was, there was settlements and they were removed, the habitat was restored, the rhinos came back. Rhinos were always coming. There were times when they were coming in and going back, either to Orang or if they were coming from the northern side. But this time, the rhinos have come and they have stayed back. And we are hoping that they stay for long. So that just shows that habitat is very important. This is another very nice example of what we can do to save our species. So for example, this buffalo calf, she was hand raised. She was rescued in 2020 in the floods. She was, I think, less than 6 months old. We have a rescue center at Kaziranga. She was hand raised there, and now she is happily back into Burasapuri, and she is back in the wild. So it's a beautiful story of how we can scientifically take care of our species and not just, leave them to the fate of nature. If we want to protect, then there is technology available, there is science available. If we look at the number of tourists in Kaziranga, of course, it has increased. We have got a good revenue. And if you see the vis-a-vis the poaching, so the poaching numbers have also drastically come down. In 2022, we had a zero poaching year. And that was celebrated as remarkable because there were times when we had 41 odd rhinos that were poached at a time. So what do we do? You saw some of it in the videos. What do we do? I think 80% of our time, our efforts go into patrolling, because that's the Kaziranga model of conservation. We try to, do the patrols in terms of managing the habitat, keeping the poachers at bay. Then, of course, these are some of the challenges. For example, some of you who are into GIS, or if you have, done a bit of your Google Maps. So we know that the river Brahmaputra has changed, it's continuously changing its course. So there are certain areas where it is eroding and certain areas where it is depositing. The issue is, if the rate of erosion is higher than the rate of deposition, and if it is influenced by climate change, then we have a cause of worry, especially in the eastern range of Kaziranga, where we know that there has been a massive erosion of land. Now, what can we do about it, or should we not do anything about it, is something that needs deeper understanding, that why the erosion is happening and what is the rate of erosion in that. This is a very key part of our management in Kaziranga. I am hoping you will be listening to more of the sessions. But flood animal rescue, and rescue in a sense that, animals which are stranded, otherwise we do not touch them. We leave nature to what they are. So unless it's something like a very young baby animal like a rhino or a calf that needs care, you need to rescue it. Otherwise, most of the time we ensure that animals have a safe passage. Now, the other thing with Kaziranga, what is the main challenge, is the expansion of rhino habitat. We have more than now 3,000 rhinos, and still we know that these rhinos are moving, dispersing, because that's their nature. They would move if there is a population increase. So now slowly the rhinos are moving eastwards. They are going up to Majuli. We have issues there because these are areas where rhinos were not there for a long time. So now people are scared, the department is scared what to do with it. They are also moving westwards, like in case of Burasapuri, where they are coming from Orang. So flood time movement of animals and vehicular traffic, that is one of the key management that we do. And of course, related to tourism, we are opening the park on the 1st of October. So I think there will be some challenges. There are times when we have more than 700 gypsies going into Kohra. Now that is a problem, because we should have a carrying capacity of how many vehicles can go in. But there are times when you don't have not even a single gypsy. Like Burasapuri Laukhwa, we are struggling because people are not coming. They only want to go to Kohra. They only want to go to Bagari. Whereas the habitat, whereas the kind of species that you will find are equally present here. It's just about how we visualize and how we, go by these trends that, oh no, we have to go there only. So that is an issue. And yeah, so this is what I wanted to show. Maybe I can show that last video, which is a 2-minute one. Yeah, this is close to your home, and it would be nice to know how we restore the habitat. I think I'll stop here because of the paucity of time. But Smarajit, what is your view? Because this happened in the dry season, and now, and would you want to tell the class that has the water come to the Romari? Has it? Yeah. Would you want to do that? Yeah.
One of the biggest benefits that we have seen during the last couple of months is that water hyacinth, which was clogged down,
Yeah.
because this Haldiaswati, it was connected from the Romai towards the Brahmaputra.
Okay.
This channel was opened up, and the water hyacinth, it has now gone out of the Romari bill into the river. So now the Romari bill is completely free of the water hyacinth. That is one of the biggest benefits that you've seen.
Right.
And I think once the flood comes in, the water will again flow into the Romari.
Yeah.
So the flow will also start.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So I think what is the takeaway? Takeaway is that in natural areas, we should not, I mean, the least interventions are good, right? We shouldn't touch nature unless we know what we are doing. But in this case, for example, in this case, it was a human-induced blockage of a wetland. So there was settlements came in, agriculture came in, and then this beautiful Beel, the water body, which was part of the natural floodplain for the Brahmaputra, it got blocked. And not due to natural conditions, but due to human-induced reasons. And that's why we dredged the entire channel and connected the water body to the Brahmaputra. And luckily this year, we had a good flood. Floods are also good, by the way. We need the floods in Kaziranga. And because of that, all the water hyacinths, jiman meteka asile, etu sob mane etia panit gusi gol. So that's how, habitat management and these things we can do that. So for that, you need to dive deeper, learn your science, learn your core fundamentals in your college, and then you can apply them. Thank you so much.
If any of you have any questions, we can take 2 or 3 questions on this presentation. Kaba kiba prashno hudibo laga thakile hudibo pare. Okhomiyat hudile hudibo pare, ko problem nai.
Water hyacinth junto ponted area apuni solution je dile etu solution to nohoy mostly delay he korile ako jodi stagnant jagat hoy etu hoy jodi ma call.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, solution to mane basically water hyacinth, first of all, kele ulabo lage. You tell me, kele ulabo lage to?
Dissolve oxygen rate komai diye, mass diversity mari diye.
Yeah. So, ami etia tak ulabo loye, there is one way to, put it back into the river from where it came from. Ami jodi suppose, let's say etia 90% of the Beel was covered. Etia jodi 50% to jodi clear hoise, thik ase. Ako hetu hobo, every time banpani ahibo, a lahe lahe hetu gusi jabo. Isn't it? Ami without doing any chemical intervention, anything which is harmful to nature, hetu at a natural solution hoi gol. Yeah?
Ponted area to Amazon pa ahise. To Amazon eta water beetle junto ponted area upor ponted area mare. To life cycle complete koribole. তো তাৰে ভিতৰত হে বাগটোৰ ওপৰত কিবা কাম হৈছে নেকি যে টু ইন্ট্ৰোডিউস কৰিব পাৰি এনেকে without causing any harm?
Interesting. So you are talking about, and I'm sure there are scientists, teachers like Bhattacharya sir who will tell you about this. So you're talking about biocontrol, right?
Yes.
Biocontrol using insects, but then you're bringing in another for invasive, isn't it?
যদি কাম হৈছে তেনেকুৱা ওপৰত I'm asking
Well,
that.
but a good question, and I think that is something which you can do your PhD on now. ठीक है? Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll go down, I think, better that way. And please ask questions, okay? That is what I will tell you all. And all the presentations, remember to ask questions.
Ma'am, I am S.P. Biswas, retired professor from Dibrugarh University. Now, this is my one of the favorite topic, flood pulse. Flood pulse. Flood pulse. Yes, flood pulse. Now, this is very important thing, and the last 20 or 25 years, I have published so many papers regarding the flood pulse and the water hyacinth management. Now, this is, you know that Borak and the Brahmaputra Valley, there are about 5,000 kilometers of embankment for river, for the flood protection. Now, this has actually both merits and demerits. Demerits is that because of the construction of the embankment, the fish production is a wetland. Now, not the Borak or not the Brahmaputra, that the 3,500 odd wetlands or beels, these are the granaries of fish production. Now, when we were student, MSc student in 1975-76, we know that at that time the first book on Indian fisheries by V.G. Jingran was published. And you can go through the old edition of this book, published in 1975. That 30% of Indian major carp, it was found in Brahmaputra. 30%. Now, 2003, when I was working in a project, not even 3% Indian major carp, thanks to the fishes coming from the Andhra Pradesh. Now, what is the reason? one of the reasons is not only the siltation, of course I have a talk here in the afternoon. Not only the siltation, but one of the reasons is the embankment. Unjudiciously, the embankments are constructed. I visited Brazil and also the Poland. They have the eco-hydrology plan. Okay, I'll discuss it later on. Now this thing, I'm not against the embankment, but there must be the sluice gate. Now the madam, she was saying that the Kaziranga, the flood pulse, actually the impact of the flood pulse, this is natural cause. The flood pulse actually normally washed out the wetland, the water hyacinth, mainly the water hyacinth and other the floating weed from the wetland. But wetlands, particularly now in Assam, there are broadly two types of bills, wetland, open bill and closed bill. Open bill are actually the change of river course, and closed bill are tectonic type. Normally they have no connection with the river or tributary. Now, in the natural course, all the bills of Assam, be it open or closed, these are weed choked, weed infested. Weed infested. And bills are, for your knowledge, bills are more productive than river. More productive. Per unit production of fish production. I am a fish biology student. Per unit of fish production, it is much more than river. Be it Dhansiri river, Borak river, Brahmaputra river. Much more higher. So actually, yeah. Next session. I'll discuss this.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you. On the matter of hyacinth, which is so important, many years ago, you see the hyacinth is choking the river. And one of the advantages of the flood was it would wash away and clear out the beels, which is very important, and you may wish to say something about it, for the smooth otter, because they live in those beels and they fish there, the Pacificalata. So, from that point of view, the removal of the wire thing. Now, as she rightly says, you cannot use pesticides, but can you use certain other? One is biotic, but then the weevil part of it is another problem. One of the things that was done some years ago, but I don't know the present situation, is that water hyacinth was being used by the Sonipat University for mulching. Water hyacinth is 90% water, but it is high in cellulose. And if that could be utilized for commercial purposes, you would kill two birds with one stone, if I may say so. You would be thereby removing a menace, an exotic imposition, and would clear up the beels for both the birds, otters, and everything else. And to some extent, even the breeding of the dolphin. You may also want to mention, I was shown photographs of a appearance of a gharial in Bura Chapur.
Yes.
I think that...
Yeah, no, thank you so much, sir. And I think lots and lots of good food for thought. I'm sure, sir, would you like to know? Okay. And I'm sure you know, please take this opportunity to debate, to discuss. And what sir was mentioning, so that is about this gharial. Now, these gharials were there originally, then they were lost in Brahmaputra, but then there have been sightings. And I think there's a sighting in Dibru Saikwa. I think you will hear from him. And so this gharial now, for the last 3 years, we are sighting. It's a lone female gharial. Now she moves between Vishwanath and that river channel. And now, so now a request to you, we are in the project Gharial, I think we are in the 50th year or 51st year. So project Gharial would be 73, sir, or 74? 73. So 50th year, and I have been telling everybody I meet that if we could reintroduce Gharials into Brahmaputra. And I hope that this workshop that we have one of the recommendations could be that if we could get the ghadials back. Yeah, thank you. And I think there was one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, what is the plan of Kaziranga regarding the transitional wetlands?
Regarding?
The transitional wetlands. Wetland management.
What is it?
Ma'am, means I am asking that means what is the plan of Kaziranga regarding the wetlands nearby the Kaziranga National Park which are unprotected. So as I am documenting 2 wetlands in Gohapur, so they are as rich as the wetlands inside the Kaziranga National Park, but they are not protected.
Yeah.
So there are more than 200 species of birds and others, some mammals, rhinos have come passed by the regions, but still they are unprotected.
What's your name?
Rahul Sharma.
Let's give him a big hand first of all. So Rahul, this is what exactly all of us can do, right? As students, as people, he is staying in Gohapur and in his area, he's documenting the biodiversity of that wheel. So very important. See, now Assam has what, 3,000 odd wetlands actually. It's very unique, sir, 3,000 plus. And each wetland is unique. So now we can't, and we ideally shouldn't get everything under national parks and because these are multiple use zones, okay? So there are people they are doing fishing, there is agriculture, there's everything. So I personally feel we shouldn't put them into a sort of a park or whatever, but at the same time, we should have some restrictions, we should have some sort of a plan of what we do with this. So yes, hopefully we can do that. And I'm sure you'll listen about that from others as well. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, so thank you very much. Our next presenter is Mr. Konin Das. He will be speaking about Dibru Soikhwa. And I request to, complete within 20 minutes, please.
Respected Dr. Bibhav Talukdar, CEO Arinok as well as Chairman of the session, Dr. M.K. Ranjit Singh sir, Dr. Porimal Chandra Bhattacharya sir, Dr. Sonali Ghosh Madam, Director, Kaziranga National Park, Dr. Kulan Chandra Das, Principal of this college, Dr. Rothin Burman, Sri Praipta Burua, DFO Mongoldoi Wildlife Division, all the faculty members of this college, and my dear student friend, myself, K.N. Das. I have started my career as Forest Range Officer. Thereafter, I was promoted to Assistant Conservator of Forest and then Divisional Forest Officer. I was happened to be there in a PC's office as Senior Wildlife Warden, and during that time, I acted as Member Secretary for verification of rhino horn before being burned into ashes, and I had an opportunity to meet Dr. Kulan Chandra Das while I came to Nowgong for verification of rhinos at Nowgong Treasury. However, I have given an opportunity to give some lecture on Dibru Soikhwa National Park and its conservation issues. So, in regards of Dibru Soikhwa is concerned, the location of the Dibru Soikhwa National Park is located in 2 districts of Assam. It is easternmost part of Assam. One is Tinsukia, another is Dibrugarh. Most part of the area of the Dibru Soikhwa National Park is located in Tinsukia district and some part located in Dibrugarh district as well. The Dibru Soikhwa National Park is also a biodiversity reserve. It is the second biodiversity reserve in Assam after Manas National Park and one of the 18 biosphere reserve in India. This is the map of land use and land cover of Dibru-Saikhowa National Park and Biodiversity Reserve. Now, the brief historical timeline of Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. First, declaration of Dibru RF, thereafter addition to Dibru RF, preliminary notification of Saikhowa RF, thereafter final notification of Saikhowa RF, thereafter second addition to Dibru RF, thereafter preliminary notification of Dibru-Saikhowa Wildlife Sanctuary, thereafter declaration of Dibru-Saikhowa Wildlife Sanctuary, thereafter declaration of Dibru-Saikhowa Biosphere Reserve, and 1999 finally declaration of 340 square kilometer of wildlife area of the sanctuary as Dibru-Saikhowa National Park, and hopefully in 2020 eco-sensitive zone of Dibru-Saikhowa National Park was notified by the Government of India. Biogeographical importance of Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. Dibru-Saikhowa National Park is a single ecological unit which is basically a floodplain, because the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park is located in the easternmost part of Assam, just in the foothill of Arunachal Pradesh. It is encompassed by various rivers, Siang, Dibru, Dibang, Lohit and Brahmaputra, and most of the part of the national park is located in the riparian area. And Dibru-Saikhowa National Park represents a unique geomorphological structure created by river Brahmaputra and its tributaries. Biogeographically, Dibru-Saikhowa represents Northeast India Brahmaputra Valley biogeographical province having rich flora and fauna. Buffer area along with the core of the DSNP are also significant in the fact that it forms an overlap of two major avian migratory flyways, the Eastern Asia and Central Asia. Dibru-Saikhowa Park, including nearby Maguri-Motaping wetland. Maguri-Motaping wetland, one of the most important area for birding, nesting and resting of migratory birds, particularly during the month of winter, starts from November to February. Large number of migratory birds come to this Maguri-Motaping wetland, and during that time, various visitors come from across the country and even from the abroad. So this Dibru-Saikhowa National Park, including nearby Maguri-Motaping wetland, has an important bird area, IBA, while Status Field 1998 has classified Dibru-Saikhowa National Park as Assam Plain endemic bird area. Present status of the park: DSNP supports astonishingly rich flora, including 28 tree species, 16 species of herbs, 2 species of parasitic plants, 70 species of grasses, 16 species of aquatic plants, 3 species of marshy plants, 4 species of climbers and scandens, 5 species of cans, 13 species of orchids, and 6 threatened medicinal plant species. DSNP is a habitat of many birds and animals, with a total of 36 species of mammals belong to 10 order and 19 families, and 27 genera are recorded in core, out of which 12 belong to Schedule 1 species. DSNP also supports 11 species of turtle, 9 species of lizard, 104 species of fish, 23 different species of snakes, 104 species of butterflies, and huge number of about 500 species of avifauna. It area also attract migratory birds, and it is a feeding, breeding and nesting ground for variety of aquatic and terrestrial birds. So that in respect of Dibru-Saikhowa, the sandbar is also one of the most important important parts plays during the time of winter when the entire rivers dried up. Those become the corridor for the animal and other, elephant and other animals to cross across the park area and move into the Arunachal Pradesh nearby the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. In addition, the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park is a very good habitat for birds like white-winged wood duck, animal like Asiatic elephant, and most particularly the most critically endangered Bengal pelican is also available in the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park area. And another is although it is not a wild elephant, but feral horse is available in Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. It is said that in World War II, as many as 79 numbers of horses, domesticated horses, were released inside the Dedan Dibru-Saikhowa Reserve Forest, and thereafter these horses has increased to 400 to 500 numbers. But thing is that there is a common practice of increasing the rumor around the people that the Dibru-Saikhowa is famous for only feral horse, but it is not like that. The Dibru-Saikhowa is famous for so many wildlife species, birds, avifauna, herpetofauna, and plant species. So, until unless our might and perception is removed from the people that Dibru-Saikhowa is famous for only feral horse, the management and protection part of the Dibru-Saikhowa will not be complete. Management issues. Dibru-Saikhowa is critically located in riparian area. During the flood, entire park area is inundated by flood. Boat is the only means of communication for Dibru-Saikhowa National Park during both rainy season as well as winter season. So, in addition to that, there are some issues to secure national park boundary and to ensure connectivity with the landscape with a view to protection and management of wildlife and habitats in the park. To organize community around the national park, because since this is a biosphere reserve also, that our major drive is to motivate the local people in and around the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park for participating in protection and management of the park area. To complete rehabilitation program of Laika and Dodia, because there are two forest villages, erstwhile forest villages in the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. One is Laika, another is Dodia. Both Laika and Dodia is a major problem for protection and management of Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. We will discuss it later on. Restore the degraded habitat inside the park to ensure highly dedicated and motivated workforce, because since Dibru-Saikhowa is located in a critical area, so our forest personnel have to be trained up properly so that they can cope up with any situation for protection and management of the park. To strengthen all the infrastructure, to foster spirit of continued research and management practices, because we have to upgrade management practices for the Dibru-Saikhowa. If until we invite the researchers from different NGOs, universities, colleges, and others, then we cannot get more and more research work on Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. To initiate adaptive management practices to combat to combat climate change stress for DSNP, because climate is the major role played in respect of Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. To ensure support from other regions, because since the Dibru-Saikhowa is having major problem for erosion and oil rigs problem, because Oil India Limited has been doing so many activities nearby the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. You might have heard about the Bagjan blowout issue. When this blowout continues for 6 months, there were a fire nearby the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park, and lot of damages was caused to Dibru-Saikhowa National Park as well as Maguri Motapinbil wetlands. So, until and unless the Oil India Limited and some such organization like Water Resource Department are come forward to protect the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park, it is very difficult to think of the better management of the park. To ensure identification of oil and gas production related risk, so this is a major issue. Challenges of for the park: continuous landmass shrinkage due to erosion and change of course of river. As per satellite imagery for the year 2023, it is revealed that core area of the park has shrunk from 340 square kilometer to 210 square kilometer. At present, we have only 200 square kilometer of landmass out of 340 square kilometer because of severe erosion causing the decades every year, and now almost 38% of the landmass have been eroded by the erosion. This is the satellite imagery. It was taken in the June and July 2024. The flood havoc was there in Tinsukia and Dibrugarh districts and in Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. Presence of two thickly populated villages inside the national park. One is Laika and another is Dodia. And hydroelectric projects in upstream areas, because you have seen the map has shown how many hydroelectric projects are in operation. Some are in operation, some are under construction. So these are the major problem for the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. And general law and order situation in nearby area of neighboring states and close proximity to the international boundary. Zoonotic diseases from livestock of the adjoining villages, biotic pressure from cattle rearing farm outside the park boundary, and not only outside the park but even inside the park boundary also. In Laika and Dodia, there are some cattle rearing farms which have been causing damages to the park. Over exploitation of forest resources by forest villages in the surrounding land leads to pressure in the park area. High deforestation, pressure of invasive species, climate change influence change of vegetation. Now, so what is the we have to relocate the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park, relocate two forest villages, Laika and Dodia, outside the park area. Now process is on. From Laika forest villager in 2023, as many as 160 families have been relocated outside the park area in nearby area, that is Digboi division. So the process is underway. Downstream impact studies. There is no hydroelectric project within the boundary of the park, but there are two hydel power projects are in operation in Arunachal Pradesh. So what will be the effect, downstream effects should be studied by the expert agency. Improve the infrastructure of the park. This is the showing the existing infrastructure of the park. Opportunities, restoration of habitat inside the park, translocation of animal from other parts, relocation of forest villages, promotion of ecotourism, activation, because there are as many as 45 numbers of eco-development committees. They are in operation. We have been preparing the entry point activities through microplan, and some funds have been provided to the eco-development committees, and we are in touch with those eco-development committees for upgradation of the livelihood generation of the people of the adjoining areas. Strengthen enrichment of cultural identity, plan for a detailed activity for GenX awareness program, community participation, invite more research on various subjects related to park management, engagement of NGOs, universities, and other institutions in the park management. So there are some example of opportunities because Dibru-Suikwa is situated in the historical ranges of Greater One Horn Rhino. Reintroduction plan was included in Indian Rhino Vision 2020 of Government of Assam because the Dibru-Suikwa National Park has also been included as one of the suitable place for reintroduction of rhinos. So Zala et al. 2021 has categorized the Dibru-Suikwa National Park as rhinoceros habitat suitability percentage from 10 to 24. There are some management practices of the buffalo also. In 2008 there were as many as 311 numbers of Asiatic wild buffalo. So this is the picture. See, time is running short, that's why I am quickly this. This is the buffalo. So we have undertaken some flagship species recovery program also for 8 numbers of species: river dolphin, hollow gibbon, Asiatic waterfowl, white-winged wood duck, Assam root turtle, vulture, fishing cat, and Bengal florican. So these are the picture of the park area, how during the flood the park area is completely inundated. These are the pictures. Some other pictures, this is the Gangetic river dolphin, feral horses, this is the white-winged wood duck, Bengal florican, this is the birds, these are the Mandarin duck. It came to Maguri Motaping World Plan in 2020 and after 118 years it was sighted by the local people. These are the birds, these are the birds, these are the hollow gibbon. So during in the month of February 2024, we conducted elephant estimation population, and during that time the pugmark of Royal Bengal tiger was also detected in the Dibru-Suikwa National Park. So existence of those pugmark says that this is the good habitat for Royal Bengal tiger as well. But this is the thing Sonali Ghosh Madam pointed out regarding presence of Ghorial. In 27 October 2020, one of our range officer could snap this picture regarding existence of Ghorial, but on 10th and 11th September 2024, nearby the Dibru-Suikwa National Park, one local people could take the photograph of existence of Ghorial, and I discussed with some expert also. They pointed out that this may be the female crocodile. So these are the orchids. These are the freshwater mangrove, grassland, wetland, woodland, freshwater mangrove. These are the nalas, etc. So thank you very much. So I have taken more time.
I will continue the presentation first and then we'll open the session for questions. So our next presenter is Mr. Pradipta Borua, who will be speaking about the Orang National Park.
Good morning to all of you, and especially I thank Mr. Kulen Das, Principal of Girls College, to invite me to give a few time to represent the Orang National Park Tiger Reserve. I think you have heard about Orang Tiger Reserve, but I hope none of you visited Orang. None of you visited Orang once. So I will give some idea about Orang. So I first of all thanks our chairman this session, Bibhav Talukdar, and also I have the opportunity to meet Ranjit Singh sir, and we had a very good time, and I thank Porimal Bhatto sir, and other dignitary resource person, and you, faculty member and student of various colleges from Nowgong. I am Pradipta Borua, Field Director, Urang Tiger Reserve, and DFO, Mongoloi Wildlife. This and Urang National Park and Tiger Reserve is one of the excellent example of eco-restoration and one of the oldest protected area of India, situated in northern bank of River Brahmaputra. What about I told that excellent example of eco-restoration means that Urang earlier human habitation is there, but during 1900, due to some waterborne diseases, the village people are left Urang, and now it's become a wonderful area for wildlife. And our Urang have a two large tributary river of Brahmaputra, namely Dhansiri and Pasnoi, along with the large number of stream and drains flow through National Park, ultimately falls into Brahmaputra. And this is our history. Total area of Tiger Reserve include buffer is 598.66 square kilometer, core is 279.6 square kilometer, buffer is 19.06 square kilometer. Our history of our Tiger Reserve is notified as Wildlife Sanctuary in 1998 and upgrade to National Park in 1999. Then it was declared as a Tiger Reserve during 2016. It is 46th National Tiger Reserve in India. At present, 54 Tiger Reserve in India, and we are 46th of that. And we had a edition area of first edition during 2022, and again we had a edition of 200 square kilometer in 2022. And we have a distinct season, mainly pre-monsoon, monsoon, retreat monsoon, and winter. And during that time, lot of rainfall is to take place. And vegetation cover type, our park is in eastern seasonal swamp forest, eastern Himalayan moist deciduous forest, Khoyar Sisu forest, eastern wet alluvial grassland and plantation. Since I have talked about the original human habitation, in Urang, there's a forest department has planted the trees up to 70s. Up to 70s, they go for lots of softwood species and other species for basically for masswood year. Then when it is declared as National Park, after declaration of Wildlife Protection Act, the park is handed over to Wildlife Division. Then from that only the plantation work is stopped. And we had a key species of conservation importance in Urang Tiger Reserve: rhino, Royal Bengal tiger, Bengal florican, and pygmy hawk. And we had mammals like Indian tiger, Indian rhinoceros, elephant, hawk deer, wild pig, and some important mammals found in Urang. And Urang also famous for biodiversity of avifauna. We have 300 species of avifauna in our park, and number of migratory birds visited in the winter season. And also it is an important habitat of Bengal florican, which is critically endangered in India. Reptile also, we have a number of reptile like python and king cobra and other species. And this our habitat provides plenty of food resource along with buxing nesting site for Chlorina and 12 species turtle found in our different habitat. And habitat, our Orang Tiger Reserve interspace and super with natural woodland, cultural woodland, tall grassland, short grassland, water bodies, bills and pukuris, and river Brahmaputra and tributary Pasnoi and Dhansiri, with numerous rivulet and cutting across the park. And this creates a complex of mosaic of habitat and support rich diversity. Flood and fire limited to succession of grassland and supporting the rich prey base for the tiger, including endangered species pygmy hawk and Bengal florican. During flood, the cultural and natural woodland act as a highland, mitigating the vulnerability of animal to flood threat. And land use pattern of our park divided into different land use pattern: Eastern Himalayan moist deciduous forest, Eastern Himalayan moist mixed deciduous forest, dry savanna grassland, wet alluvial grassland, irrigated grassland, Eastern seasonal swamp forest, water bodies, moist sand area and dry sand area. And you can see the from 1987 to 2019, the changes of the habitat land use pattern. Especially you can see the dry savanna grassland 6.88 in 1987. Now it became a 12.57. And wet alluvial grassland also reduced from 30.36 to 17.14. It's a not good sign for our park. We are trying to improve our grassland through different methods so that we can accommodate more herbivore species, our Bengal florican, for future of their shelter in our park. And as you know, the pygmy hawk conservation program, I think you have heard pygmy hawk, which is we call Nol Gahori. It is originally found in Manas National Park, but due to different reason, the population is reduced to a very low number, around 20-30 numbers. From there is a program, pygmy hawk conservation program is started based in Basista, and from there they captured two family of Nalgahari from Manas, and they go for captive breeding, and they successfully breed the animal. And 2011 they reintroduced program started in our Orang Tiger Reserve, and altogether 49, that is 26 male and 33 female captive breed hawks in 12 social groups released in Magurumari Bill area of Orang between 2011 to 2015, following the IUCN reintroduction guideline. Since 2016, systematic population monitoring has been done everywhere through post-burning sign survey and camera trapping. Based on sign survey, conducted in 2016, we have considerable estimation of population size is 150 pygmy hawk in Urang National Park. This is a successful reintroduction process of pygmy hawk in Urang. Besides Manas, Urang is the only place where the present pygmy hawk is found. And management and challenges of Urang Tiger Reserve. Human wildlife conflict. Since we had a proximity to human settlement lead to conflict, particularly tigers and rhinoceros, crop damage, livestock and depredation and occasional human casualties strain the relation between park authority and local community. Encroachment and habitat fragmentation, that is also one of the challenges. Then poaching and illegal wildlife trade, resource limitation, inadequate funding and resource limit to ability to park authority to carry out effective conservation and anti-poaching operation, a shortage of trained staff and modern equipment also required for us. I thank in this forum, I thank to Aranyok. They are supporting us. Last year, 2022-23, they support one tractor with trailer grass cutting machine, which is now one of the successful operation in the field. And also thanks to WWF, they provided one camper vehicle for patrolling. With such type of help, will overcome all our limitation. And another problem is flooding and natural disaster. And most importantly, invasive species like water hyacinth in wetland, Comorlina, Mycenia, Mimosa, Lantana camera, etc. in grassland, and Bobexiba, Lagostomia species of woodland disturb the ecosystem balance. These invasive species outcome native flora and affect the food chain of habitat in structure. Since we are talking about grassland management, this is one of our main issue, how to remove our invasive species. And for that, we are working with other NGOs, different forum, and I think we'll recover our grassland very soon. And climate change also make major impact in our park, because changes of rainfall pattern, temperature fluctuation, and frequency of extreme weather event can alter the habitat and biodiversity. Management of Urang Tiger Reserve created several opportunities for conservation, local community, tourism, research, and some opportunity are wildlife conservation. To create a wildlife animal corridor between Kaziranga and Urang Tiger National Park, which is located 180 kilometers apart from either end of Kaziranga Urang Riverine Landscape KORL, which is the major corridor movement for rhino, Royal Bengal tiger, water buffalo, elephant, and Gangetic dolphin, including many other species of terrestrial and aquatic flora. And in view of this wild animal corridor, Government of Assam has added 200.32 square kilometer in riverine island of Brahmaputra as second edition of Urang, and that connect Kaziranga National Park through first edition of the Burasapuri Wildlife Sanctuary. This is the map of which I am talking about, Kaziranga Urang riverine landscape. This is the thought of our Vibhav Talukdar and other NGOs to connect the Kaziranga with Urang. So you can see this yellow portion is Kaziranga National Park, and then green one is first edition of Burasapuri. Then it connects to Urang National Park. So we have 180 kilometer continuous patch for wild animal. It will be helpful for our future generation to conserve and preserve the all wild animal in one straight landmass. This is I think one of the best example from Forest Department, Government of Assam, to create this type of landmass corridor. And due to this corridor, from Urang, 4 number rhino already went to Burasapuri Laukwa complex without any reintroduction program. Animal, they move happily to visit this area. We need not go for release of reintroduction rhino there. Like Rhino Vision 2020, we no need to go for this intervention. So like that, lot of animal dispersion is going on. Like one tiger has shifted from Urang to Burasapuri area. Then from Burasapuri Laukha complex, it's come out to human habitation area, then moved to Dhing area. That our tiger is T57, and that tiger moved in between Burasapuri and Urang, and finally we caught him at Dhing area, finally. And these are the main our effort to conserve our corridor of wild animal and other important species. And I think I can say proudly that Urang is the highest density of tiger in India. We have only 79 square kilometer, and we harbor around 26 tiger, which is one of the highest density in India. So for that reason, government has increased our area 200 square kilometer, so to accommodate those tiger in the park, and to their population will be increased with the help of this corridor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are going to the next presentations from Raimona National Park. And Mr. Sanatan Deka, he will be speaking about the Raimona National Park.
We are actually blessed and honored by their blessings. Let me start. So Raimona National Park, when there was presentation made by Dr. Sonali ma'am, which is one of highly managed protected area of the country, now I will tell you the story of a newborn child. Globally, we have more than 1 lakh protected areas. The figure was in 2003. When there was CBD, Convention of Biological Diversity, then the number of protected area, it was more than 100,000 globally. And in India, we have more than 1,000 protected areas, and in Assam, we have 8 national parks. If we leave the last national park, which was just declared on 15th of August by the Honorable Chief Minister, let us discuss on the 6th national park, how it was born. So this is one landscape we always ignore. But Ranjit Singh sir was very right. There's a very, very, very rich habitat, very high diversity, because the location, the situated, where the area was situated, because it connected It is situated in the eastern Himalaya, then the Brahmaputra Valley, then the lower Gangetic Plains. So you can see the confluence. Three huge biogeographic regions meets in one place, so the diversity will always be high. Okay, so the park, it was declared on 5th June 2021 when the entire world was locked down by COVID. And this is actually the biggest achievement for, give a big clap for this achievement. Because I always say that we are saving the land of gold. Why? How many of you have seen like golden langur? Have you heard the name of golden langur? Hunali bandor naam kune kune hunisa? Just raise your hands. Fantastic. How many of you have seen? Kimane dekhisa? No one. So I will request our chair also. Let us take this opportunity. We heartily welcome to you all. Please visit. We will make sure we'll show you golden langur and the land of gold. Okay, this is clouded leopard, another species, Neophilis nebulosa. So you see, 422 square kilometer area, and if we see the reserve, which was upgraded, notified, a national park, itself was one of the famous sal forests in Asia. Kachugao, you will always hear the name Kachugao, Ripu, the world's famous sal forest, not in Asia, in India, but also in Asia. And if we see the plan, it was notified as a reserve forest in 1893. Then in 1901 there was a plan, very scientifically managed plan. In Assam, you will surprised to see there were not a good working plan for the territorials, but territorial divisions. But you surprised to see 120 years back there was very well written working plan, sir. And they extracted forest, they planted and they managed. They call right and parallels. Right means 1 mile. 1 mile block, plantation, extraction, for the railway tracks, for the construction of government buildings. That was the scientific plan. I read those plan, typewritten plan, 104, like that. So if we see the regional significance of Raimana National Park, you can see the area marked white, and this is Raimana National Park covering 422 square kilometers. Just back, there is Buksa Tiger Reserve, just western side. And if you see towards north, there is Bhutan, Phipso Wildlife Sanctuary, it is marked well. Phipso Wildlife Sanctuary and Raimana National Park. See, there is a interstate boundary connectivity, transboundary connectivity. That's where Raimana stands. Means it is an ample opportunity. That's why Raimana was notified within 6 months of the application, the process. I think it is one of the national park declared in such a short time. And you can see the history. This is the tramway only you will see in the entire country. This is tramway which was made in 1901 and was operational 1904, and during World War II it was like damaged. And this entire tramway was meant for extracting the matured sal forest and to deliver foods and waters to the camps. Now there are some remnants, you can see them. And this was IB. So you can see some of the like beautiful memories, 120 years back photos. And let us come into the biodiversity attributes of the park. Raimana is a small area, but sir, in Manas we have 62 plus like mammalian fauna, but in Raimana, just when it was notified, we conducted study and we recorded 30 plus. And luckily we documented hog deer. Hog deer also, yes. And avian fauna somewhere 250, and then butterfly, although we recorded 150, but Northeast Butterfly Met, they like documented more numbers, and we are waiting for the second publication. There are somewhere close to 500 species of flowering plants. And you can see the middle photograph, which is the red hornbill. You can see like red hornbill is very common in Raimana National Park and that landscape. And tiger was also documented by WWF India, then Aranyok also put camera traps. We are also doing studies on all the species diversity of Raimana. Okay, now coming to the crucial part of the protected area's importance. As Ranjit Singh sir and PCB sir also told, the water security, because this Raimana National Park is situated in a bhavor tract. Bhavor means you will not see water in the top, but the water is running behind like 20, 30, sir is from geography department, he knows very well the condition. Like you will see river, you will see only seasonal rivers, not a perennial river. But surprisingly, when you go down to 20 kilometers or 15 kilometers in the villages, you will see water. Very clean crystal water, filtered naturally. That's the beauty of this forest. And now we are trying to make people understand how important the securing this like forest space for the water security. Otherwise, 2 million people inhabiting southern side belong to Kokrajhar and Dhubri district, they will die because of water scarcity if we lose this landscape. So there are huge potential of ecotourism or nature tourism activities. These are some of the parts I took photos. They are still, but like well, not like no, keep them well. So just they are feeling somewhere else. So the biggest thing, if we talk about conservation, we cannot conserve, we cannot protect any forest or wildlife without people's participation. That's why the entire globe talk about park-people relations, CCRN, Communities Conservation Research Network. These are the new terminologies. So in Raimana, before notification, there was a NGO. They did protection with the support, and they supported the forest department for protection. Without them, the forest department, they found it very difficult to protect the entire landscape. That's why the support from the local community, especially the local young, it was very encouraging, which is an example for the global community to learn how the local people can also contribute to forest department to protect their rich natural heritage. So this, we discuss a vision to, because Manas is already protected. Manas is a World Heritage Site, Tiger Reserve, National Park, Biosphere Reserve, IBA, Important Bird Area, Elephant Reserve. But all the attention was just confined to only 500 square kilometer. Then we came up with the idea. Ranjit Singh sir was also the time, PCB sir was also the time to conceive the idea of Greater Manas, not Manas, beyond Manas. Because the entire landscape is like left hand and right hand. Both hands are equally important. So right hand is the Manas and left hand is the western side, Raimana, then Chirang RF. I will show you the maps. So we came up with a vision, Greater Manas, and then we started working towards to achieve that vision. And it is possible. Notification, declaration, and protection is possible, not impossible, because you can do that actually. If you have a strong dream, determination, you can also establish new national park. This is not a very big challenge. We can prove that, see. So we have a very good political support, because when we met, the last meeting happened with Honorable Chief of BTC, Mr. Pramod Baru, on 4th June. After 6 months of negotiating with the people, and it was also surprising, when we did the survey for the new national park, more than 2,000 people they gathered to encroach further land, because they came to know that if it is notified, it will be difficult to get new forest areas for settlement. And that was like, we stopped them with the help of the local MLA, and like the SSB also helped, the villagers also helped. Some of the villagers, they also helped. And the last meeting held with Pramod Baru sir on 4th June and 5th June. At 12th night, he gave us the information that tomorrow the Honorable Chief Minister will declare it. And we were so happy to see that one of the biggest achievement is going to happen in the conservation history in Manas landscape. 5th June it was notified, and 8th June it was, 5th June declared, 8th June notified, and you can see this photograph is very important because that time it was COVID protocol, and hardly 70 people were allowed to meet. And the forest minister went, and the entire BTC, means all the BTC EM, MLAs, EM means executive members, they are the rank of cabinet, all they came, and there was like audience of more than 700. That's the beauty, and people also enjoy it. And the landscape was already, you can see the National Geography, you will see the clouded leopard rehabilitation. And see, after notification also, because black and white, notification is just a paper, black and white. This is legally secured, but we have lot of responsibilities, we have lot of difficulties to face, because there were many poachers. There were 100 people who were involved in such activities. Then we made them, with the help of some local people, we convinced them, and on 22nd, during the War Rhino Day, 2021, 57 poachers, they surrendered, they laid down their arms and weapons. That's the beauty of it. And you can see the second, on 2nd October, during Gandhi Jayanti, entire BTC, they came, no, we will stop, no more, we will just lay our arms, we will do no more poaching. That was another achievement. And more than 400 people, they surrendered arms and weapons. This is also a very big achievement, because you can see the number of arms and weapons, and among them also there are animals surviving. This is a very big struggle actually. So then we started working with local communities. Arainok is also there, WWF is also there. We met with the people, we formed the eco-development committees, then we brought them to Kaziranga, Manas, Povitara for exposure visits so that they can see the other protected areas. Then we work with the critically forest dependent households. Those who fully dependent on the properties, like fuelwood collection and TFP collection. Then we sit with them and plan what we can do to secure their livelihoods so that they can reduce going inside the forest. So it continued. Then we identified, with the help of the local NGOs and the local EDCs, the potential nature guides. And we trained them up, and we provided all sort of support with, jointly with Forest Department. In Raimona and in Manas landscape, friends, be clear, this is a very collaborative approach. Not only Forest Department, we work together. You will be surprised to see the Manas. Manas came back because of the community support. So again, we did the government of Forest Department, they did training for the frontline forest staff on filing cases, and then habitat improvement. Also, Arainok is also doing restoration activities, how to restore the degraded forest, because last 100 years, nobody worked on protection and improvement of habitat. We tried with this improvement of natural water bodies, then improvement of grassland. As Sir has said, grassland is very, very important, since we have recorded hog deer also. And some of, also, there is a stand order by the government of Assam to release some animals in Raimona, so that the population is very, very less. Sighting of animal in Raimona means good luck. But you will see some species like golden langur, also spotted deer. How many of you have seen spotted deer? Futuki horina kimane dekhisa? Kot? Futuki horina kot dekhisa? Huh? Kazirangat? Futuki horina. Spotted deer Kazirangat nai. Futuki horina লাৰ্জ ডিষ্ট্ৰিবিউশ্যন ইন ইণ্ডিয়া তাতে কনফাইণ্ড হৈ আছে মানাছ। মানাছো গোটেই নেশ্যনেল পাৰ্কত নহয়, সিটো চাই। আৰু ৰাইমনা নেশ্যনেল পাৰ্কত গ'লে আৰু এটা স্পেচিছ চাব পাৰিব এতিয়া আপোনালোকে। চেকলিষ্ট লিখি লওক, গল্ডেন লেংগুৰ আৰু ফুটুকী হৰিণা। আৰু মই চিয়'ৰ দেই 99% ছোৱালীয়ে ফুটুকী হৰিণাটো খুব ভাল পাব দেখিলে, মানে ইমান ধুনীয়া চাই থাকিব মন যায়। আৰু বড়ো তেওঁলোকে কি কয়, কটীয়া পাখৰা। চ' আমি ট্ৰাই কৰি আছোঁ, যিমান ৰেস্কিউড এনিমেল আছে আমি তাত ৰিলিজ কৰি আছোঁ, সেইবিলাক মনিটৰ কৰোঁ। আৰু আমি অৰণ্যক WWF WTI এইবিলাক বাটাৰফ্লাই মিট, তাৰপিছতে ৱৰ্ল্ড এনভাইৰনমেণ্ট ডে চিলড্ৰেনৰ লগত আমি কৰি আছোঁ যাতে ল'ৰা ছোৱালীখিনি চেঞ্জিটাইজ হয়। এই চ'লাৰ ফেন্সো দিয়া হৈছে ৰিচেণ্টলি WWF ইণ্ডিয়া, তাত আপোনাৰ 16 কিলোমিটাৰ ল' কষ্ট ফেন্সিং দিছে যাতে মানুহৰ লাইভলিহুড আৰু প্ৰপাৰ্টিখিনি ছেভ হয়। কিন্তু তাত চাওক আপুনি চেলেঞ্জ, হিউজ প্ৰব্লেম আছে আপোনাৰ এনক্ৰচমেণ্ট মানে এটেম্প্ট। সেইকাৰণে ৰাইমনাখন নটিফাইড কৰা হৈছে। আমি সকলোৱে ডিছকাছ কৰিছিলোঁ যে হেবিটেট যদি থাকে এভৰিথিং উই কেন চি এভৰিথিং বেক। If we lost habitat, land, everything is gone. If there is habitat, we can reintroduce rhino. Like example, Manas, entire population was wiped out, but we reintroduced. Some deer we brought from Kaziranga to Manas, like pygmy hawk. It is reintroduced in Orang because the habitat is there. That's why the crucial part is habitat. And again, there are some challenges because I told you already, the biggest sal forest you can see. If you go to Raimana, you will see this much of size of sal forest, sal trees. And you can see like sal, Puelut, they always prefer sal forest, sal trees. It's a very surprising thing. And this is golden langur. So we will talk about some challenges like cattle grazing. Because it's a new national park, there are more than 15,000 cattle among the 45 fringe villages. So it's a very big problem. And some people, they do fire in the forest, sir. Unknowingly, knowingly, they do forest fire. But it's a very dry harbor trek. So fire is a big problem. So we are trying to make people understand that you will suffer from lack of water. So that's a very big challenge. Last year also, sir, more than 60% of the park was burned. Accidental burn, not accidental. Then we came to know that some cattle grazer just burnt it. So these are some challenges. Again, invasive species like Cromolena odorata and lantana. And since it is a new national park, so there is a problem of like anti-poaching camp, insufficient like patrolling routes, and basic facilities that we can provide to the visitors. So these are some areas we have to work together. And these are the maps like where the existing camps are and where the proposed camps are. So these are the way forward. There is a route map. Already Aranyok is working on preparation of the management plan, and together we will contribute to meet all these challenges. And just the vision, you can see how this national park, like this is the existing Manas National Park. The green colored, 500. Now you can see, this is first edition, you can see, this is added, 350 square kilometer in 2016. Now you see, this is Raimana. You can see the map. How much area? 422. See how we are connecting the entire habitat. Now this is the proposal stage of Raimana. Then this is another proposal we have already declared by the Chief Minister on 15th of August. And we are waiting for the notification. If it happens, you can see this. See, only in 8 years, we were able to upgrade the status of land to protected area more than 1,000, which is a history in the entire country in one landscape. That's all. Thank you so much. And finally, I would like to again welcome you to Raimana and that part of the state. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes, yes. This is a good thing. There is a record of white-bellied heron. Last year, students from Guwahati University, they directly cited. Yeah, that's a very good thing. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sanatan. We are having the last presentation of this session is the director of Manas National Park. So he will be speaking through online virtually. Please.
Yeah, so thank you so much. I first of all take this opportunity to thank the principal of the Nowgong Girls College for inviting me, and also the sponsors of this event, RNAC and PCBA, who are the partners in this event, and all other sponsors, and delegates from different parts of the country and around the globe. My senior colleagues and colleagues from the Forest Department, and my dear student friends. I am Dr. C. Ramesh. I am the Field Director of the Manas Tiger Reserve. I'll be giving a brief about what we do in Manas Tiger Reserve and what is it about Manas Tiger Reserve. Pardon me if at all I'm not going into deep about the Tiger Reserve, because I'm also only 2 months old to this Tiger Reserve as a Field Director. So thank you once again for giving me this opportunity. So as you all know, the Manas Tiger Reserve is a World Heritage Site, important bird area. It's a biosphere reserve, elephant reserve, and a national park. So when you consider Manas Tiger Reserve, it's the largest area, almost 3,000 square kilometers, with a core area of about 840 square kilometers, which runs from West Bengal to up to the Tezpur district, all along the Bodoland area. It's all Manas Tiger Reserve. And the darker area which you see on the middle and in the right hand side is the core area. The darker area includes Manas National Park and its first edition. And the darker area on the right side includes Bharmati Wildlife Sanctuary, which is basically the core area. The rest of the areas are buffer area of the Manas Tiger Reserve. And Manas Tiger Reserve, as such, we have 4 ranges, major ranges, basically starting from the eastern side, Buyapara, Basbari, Kaitama, and then the Panbari and Kuplung range of fishes. So, if you consider the conservation history of the Manas Tiger Reserve, it's almost 97 years old. It started from 1927, forming as Manas Reserve Forest. Then, in 1928, it became a protected area as Wildlife Sanctuary. And in 1973, this was Manas Tiger Reserve was one among the first 9 tiger reserves that were declared under the Project Tiger. And in 1989 it was declared as World Heritage Site. 1990 it became Manas Biosphere Reserve. And 1990 the Manas National Park was declared with 500 square kilometers, which was added up to 350 square kilometers in 2016 as first edition. And it is also part of Chiran Ripu Elephant Reserve, which was declared in 2003. And Manas, as everybody knows, it had a long history as a conservation, but it also had a long history, long struggle in between. And so that the World Heritage Site became World Heritage Site in danger in 1992 due to all the agitation that were happening. Most of the wildlife have been wiped out, and most of the wildlife took refuge in the nearby forest of the Bhutan area. So the World Heritage Site has been in danger. That was the tag it was got in 1992. But due to the effort of a whole lot of people, the public, the NGOs, volunteers, all organizations and the department, with the help from both the state government and the Bodoland Territorial Council, it has revived its status as World Heritage Site. The endangered tag was removed in 2011. So this was a brief conservation history. And as you know, it is an UNESCO World Heritage Site for under 3 categories. Basically criteria 7, 9 and 11, 9 and 10. And the criteria 7, it is basically superlative natural phenomena. And criteria 9, it is a significant ongoing ecological and biological process, which involves the evolution of terrestrial freshwater and ecosystems and communities of plants and animals. So everything is evolving in a better manner. And criteria 10 is basically most important and significant natural habitat for inch into conservation of some of the most threatened species which are available in the Manas National Park. So if you take the landscape as such, as I told you, it will start from the West Bengal side, and it is having its northern boundary as Bhutan. And if you see, there are a lot of colored areas where you can see that this violet color area is a Pipsu Wildlife Sanctuary, which is in Bhutan, and this rose color area is Royal Manas National Park, and this light green one is the Jomotsanka Wildlife Sanctuary in Bhutan. So we have 3 protected areas along the Bhutan border, one protected area on the West Bengal border, that is Patsa Tiger Reserve, which makes this as a landscape which has a confluence of 3 biogeographic regions. One is lower Gangetic Plains, the other one is central Himalayas, and the Brahmaputra Valley. And it is also a transboundary big forest complex which consists of 4 national parks, 3 in the Indian side, one in the Bhutan side, 2 biological corridors which comes from this Pipsu Wildlife Sanctuary to Royal Manas National Park, and from Royal Manas National Park to this Wildlife Sanctuary in Bhutan. So if you take the faunal attributes, we have a lot of species of mammals, birds, reptiles, amphibians and fishes. And you could see the big 6 of fauna, that is the rhino, gaur, water buffalo, swamp deer, tiger and elephants. As per IUCN data, there are the 6 critically endangered faunas, 15 endangered, 36 threatened and 39 vulnerable species. So then we have small 3 also, which is basically pygmy hawk, ispit hare and Bengal florican. So as you see what type of management happens in the Manas National Park, we operate through our anti-poaching camps, through the range offices which we have in different critical locations. In this map you could see that there are first addition to the national park, which is almost 350 square kilometer, which doesn't have much of the anti-protection camps because it is newly added 8 years before. And this Manas National Park, which was an older establishment, which has a lot of anti-poaching camps. So we do most of our patrolling, monitoring and protection through these anti-poaching camps where our staff stay. And the next management practice is basically when you have seen all the big 5 and the small 3, most except the carnivores, most of the mammals and birds depend upon these grasslands basically. So major management in the national park is grassland management, which basically we have different type of activities, which is like fire line cutting, weed uprooting the weeds, and then girdling of the big trees, which is not allowed to evolve along the grasslands, because if they take over, woodlands take over, then grassland area will reduce, then the habitat will be degraded for the herbivores basically. So we do the wet grassland burning, and then weed cutting happens in the habitat management. So then we engage the communities, because for any national park or a protected area to survive and thrive better, I think we have to take the help of the fringe villages, and in our case also we have almost 50 EDCs, eco development committees, which work in common support with the park authorities. So for them we do a lot of community engagement, we do a lot of awareness meetings, and we do a lot of entry point activities like providing LPG gases, providing skill employments like the honeybee boxes or handloom materials or piggery or cutlery. So we provide a lot of inputs to the people so that they believe that the Manas National Park, they are part of it, so that they give full protection to the park and full support to the park. And we do a lot of infrastructure development. This is also a management, because as I told you, a lot of areas doesn't have good camps, so we build camps. A lot of areas doesn't have in roads, patrolling roads, so we do patrolling roads construction also. And we do a lot of sensitization and capacity building, both for our internal staff and for the outside people also. So frontline staff, we have a continuous training for them in how to manage the forest and also how to use the new technologies like drones or GPS, GIS technologies. And we train whoever visits our park, like paramilitary personnel like SSB who work along with us in the boundary. And we train the range officers and IFS officers who come over here for their attachments or their touring. And we also train Mahots and we engage with NGOs in all our sensitization and awareness programs. So we also do estimation of animals that are present inside our plot. So we did in 2022 the rhino population estimation, where we found out that the rhino population has increased from 34 to 50 in a span of about 5 years. So, and we also use a lot of Android platforms where we use mostly the M-Stripe, which has been given by the Government of India, NTCA, National Tiger Conservation Authority, through which we actually do transect mapping, and then through transect we do a lot of population estimations. So the green color patches which you see different maps of the park is basically this is of elephant population estimation, where we found the elephant population located in these places. Then these are the same like barking deer, hog deer, rhino, sambar, wild buffalo and Indian goat. So we put up some camera traps also. We get camera trap photographs of these animals, which actually supports our data which our staff collects through the Android platform and Stripes. So we do the tiger monitoring also as per our latest estimate. It's like almost 60 tigers we have in our park. This also we do through camera trapping and also through our M-Stripes monitoring, which gives a lot of ecological data and herbivore data also. And we do a lot of immunization along the boundaries, because as we all know that because a lot of cattle are there in the fringes and a lot of animals are there within the park. So there are a lot of interactions happening. So the diseases from inside to outside or out to inside should not transfer or should not go into. So that's why we take precautions in immunizing the entire buffer area. You can see a lot of immunization happened in the last year. So this is the last year data where we could see that almost we could immunize almost 9,000 cattle along the buffer areas. So we allow ecotourism inside the park for almost 8 months duration, starting from October to July, and we get influx of lot of tourists, both from foreign and within the country. So we get almost around 53,000 tourists visiting our park every year, and we have a capacity of rooms available with the private resorts and government accommodations, almost like 467 bedding capacity. So every day we can accommodate almost 500 people over there for staying outside the park. So the ecotourism activity involves a lot of jeep safaris, rafting, and we allow people to bathe our domestic elephants which are used in our safaris. And we have an ecotourism heritage center where at Matankuri, which was in the last 2 years before it was renovated. And this heritage center has a lot of information about the park and a lot of information about the history, how the park has evolved over a period of time. And apart from these all protection activity, ecotourism and this, we do some lot of reintroduction activities also, where we improve the population of the different mammals or animals. One of the major reintroduction was rhino reintroduction, which has started in 2009. So from that time till now, we have reintroduced almost 50 rhinos, and we got there are a lot of poaching happened after that also, but still we have a population of around 50 rhinos as of now. And we also introduced swamp deer reintroduction happened since 2014, and we have a good population of sardine, almost 174, as per the estimates that were done last year. And pygmy hawk was one of the prime species or endangered species that is available in Manas earlier also. It was once thought it was no more in this landscape, but it was rediscovered in 1971. And with the pygmy hawk conservation program, we do conservation program with a partnership from Dural Wildlife Conservation Trust, Forest of Department of Assam, IUCN Wild Pig Specialist Group, and Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. This program we introduced almost 52 pygmy hawks has been released, which were rare in Guwahati and Tezpur by this conservation program, and it was reintroduced into this one. So with this, we have a lot of challenges also, basically. Like the first challenge any park faces is a resource constraint. We have a resource constraint of manpower. Basically, we have almost 50% manpower vacancy existing as of now, regular staff, and that's one of the human resource constraint. And the next constraint is like infrastructure-wise, as I showed in the earlier map also. We have a lot of areas without any anti-poaching camps, which has to be built up, and there are a lot of roads, bridges and culverts, tube pipes have to be put up to have access to entire forest for our own protection. So that are the resource constraint, and funding as such, we have a constraint of funds also. And poaching is a major challenge, at least in the first edition where we have added almost 350 square kilometers of area. So that's a major concern. And encroachment, yes, this park also has a few patches of encroachment, almost 37 square kilometers being encroached, which is of people encroaching upon the land and having their habitats and their livelihood based on those. Those encroachment issues are there. And as I already told, maintenance of the grassland is a major challenge for us. And for that, the invasive species, basically, though lot of species like Simun, Dylinia pentagena, Oro and Leah are all major encroaches in the grasslands. A lot of efforts are being going into to remove those invasive species. And due to climate change also, there are a lot of invasive species coming in. Like Leah is a natural endemic to this place. Endemic basically it is natural to this place, but still due to climate change, the spread of rainfall has reduced. So what has happened is because the Leah gets, if it is in the submerged area, the Leah population, spread is less, but due to climate change, we don't often get continuous rain or continuous rain where moisture can be maintained. So that's a problem. So climate change and invasive species is a major challenge. And human-wildlife conflict, yes, because of fringe villages, there are almost lot of fringe villages along the border of the park in the southern boundary. A lot of human-wildlife conflict also happens. This is also a challenge for us. And in spite of all these challenges, our staff do a lot of better duties and they engage in good protection duties. For that, they have been awarded a lot of times, and these are awards which our foresters and forest guards they receive from the Government of India. And what is the way forward for this park as such? As you all know that, as I already stated that the fringe village is the major strength of any protected area. So strengthening them will improve the forest in all ways. So strengthening of the eco-development committees is one of the major focus points for the future. Infrastructure development, basically as I told that a lot of infrastructure has to be developed, like anti-protection camps, a lot of patrolling paths, a lot of bridges to cross over the streams, or have to be added upon in the future. And we require a lot of big or good interpretation centers in all the 4 ranges, so that when the tourists or people come inside the forest, inside the park, they can have good information about the park, their history, what are the challenges they face. So all those things we require good interpretation center. And the capacity building of staff, as I already told that we give a lot of trainings to them, but still, because we have a lot of casual laborers who are engaged, they should also be improved in their capacity so that we can put them in use for monitoring and for our protection activities. In line with the Digital India initiative, we use M-stripes in most of the camps, but I think due to paucity of funds, we could not provide Android mobile phones for a lot of them. But this is in the process of, we are in the process of giving to every camp an M-stripe application install mobile phones so that they can use it for day-to-day patrolling and as well as for collecting ecological data, wherein we can find out the population strength, population of different animals, or we can find out what about the poaching happening or hunting happening, or even what are the infighting happening between animals. So all those data can be collected through this M-stripe data. And try to achieve Atmanirbhar, basically as the government is moving towards self-sufficiency in most of the organization, I think one day will come that all the protected area will be asked to manage themselves, generate their own funds and run on their own. So that should be the main focus of going for an Atmanirbhar protected area. And enhancing the community with collaboration of the conservation partners, like a lot of NGOs work with us, like WTA, RNA, WWF, and a lot of NGOs work with us like that. So we, and also the community NGOs which are around one of the ranges like Mousegate, Ecotourism Society, and a lot of NGOs all along other ranges. So we want to have a good community engagement so that it becomes a thriving part, so that everybody has a stake in this and everybody contributes to this protection of this park. And in return, we can converge with other line departments also, like for the Ujjala scheme, for the gas connection, LPC gas connection for the people. A lot of conversions can happen wherein these people of the along the fringes can be more skilled. We can give skill trainings, we can give them some entrepreneurship activities so that they become Atmanirbhar on their own, so that the dependence on forest or a particular area gets reduced. So that's it from my side. It's nice talking to you all, and if I have any comments or questions or suggestions, I can take over. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So this was our last presentation before lunch. So we can now, open this session for some questions and answer. Since Dr. Ramesh is busy, I know, so I would request if any specific question on Manas National Park, then I think we can take 2 questions. If you have anything, yes, please, sir. So Dr. Ranjit Singh sir is going to ask few questions or maybe comments.
Yeah. Please, sir.
No, it's like this. If I may. This is too important a matter. I would like to make some comments and then ask questions.
Sir, you are not audible. Can you please be bit louder?
No, if there is no time, I'll just keep quiet.
No, please.
Because this is too important, and
okay.
If I may be permitted, all right. No,
I think you can use the stage mic, sir. I think this mic is not audible.
You can come here, then I think he can also see something. Yeah. Yes. This will go to. Please take your time, sir. Yeah.
And the chairperson has said that it has to be very quick. Look, we heard the presentation from the park directors. In UN parlance, there are 3 levels of such talks. One is the present scenario. The second are the problems. The third is how are you solving those problems in what time frame. We heard the presentation of what is the importance of the area, and I'm talking generally across the board, all of them. And they take great pride, and God bless them. They have every right to take pride. But if I may say so, and please forgive me if I hurt sentiments, but I would not be doing my duty if I didn't say what I feel is necessary and the truth. It left more questions unanswered than answered. What we are interested is not the importance of the area, we know that. And a lot of it was said. It was said about Raimuna that up to Haltugaon, Kachugaon and Kokrajhar you have the easternmost distribution of the Sal and of the Chital. Fine. It's the easternmost distribution of the Sal in India. In Bangladesh it is in Bhawal. We also heard about some of the other animals in the passing, about ecotourism and about the tiger. But the tiger, unfortunately, I'm not worried about the tiger. I'm not worried about the rhino. You will take care of the rhino. We are worried about certain other things which are of greater threat and which are unique to these areas. There is no place I mentioned like Manas. And Manas is not just the restoration of the rhino, of the tiger, of course. The rhino has come back, but from Panbari to Uchila is the most important area for the most endangered species of this country. I'm not talking about Schedule 1. I've already said 26 into 72 when I framed the Act. I don't know now. But, and then from Uchila to Matanguri. Number one, the golden langur, the clouded leopard coming down. And I'll come to that, and there should be a special session on the jongli mo, on the wild buffalo. The wild buffalo is the most important wild animal for human welfare today. It's not the tiger, it's not the elephant. You see, and any genetist will tell you, any human veterinarian will tell you that the wild counterparts of domesticated animal and the wild counterparts of the domesticated agricultural species, whether it is cotton or wheat or orange, are the most important for human welfare. There are more buffaloes today in the world, domestic buffaloes in the world than there are sheep and goats. And the wild counterpart is now in only two places, Assam and central India. The wild counterpart today is genetically swamped. What are you doing about that prevention of the swamping? No answer. Nobody has touched on the subject. What are you going to, at one point of time, because the Khuntis came and finished off, all these are, and I can tell you the difference between a wild and the thing, and there are gradation. The problem is that they all have 48 chromosomes, but the DNA is different, and you have to go to Lacan's to see that. I won't go into the central Indian ones. There are less than 20 left. There are less than 5 left which are really, I can say, pure. Here you had them in the border in Bhutan Manas, and that is one of the most important areas, I think, across Matanguri, across the Beki. Now they are swamped. What are you doing to prevent the interbreeding? What are you doing to segregate the purest wild buffalo in the world, if you have any. Okay, from Uchila further southwards, you come, and I'm only talking about Manas, but it applies to also Raimona and others. And after Barna, the population of the pygmy hog finished, the only one that really had any meaning was Pohufield in Basbari. In the 60, I have been going there since 48. In 1972, I have seen Pohufield red. Red, you won't believe me. The entire place was covered with hog deer, and they were in molt, it was red. I went there and I could have cried. There were no hog deer there. There were 10 or 20. That was the decimation after the Bodo problem. Okay, you've revived. Can you go back to that 70s? It was red. You have in that thing, right up to Buyapara and further eastwards, you have the Barasinga is gone, you brought it back. Very good. You have the Hispidare. Nobody has taken the name of the Hispidare. I didn't hear it today. What are you doing about the Hispidare? The pygmy hog, fine. Gautam Narayan is coming tomorrow and we are releasing them. What are you doing to manage the habitat better? Do you know how to manage the habitat for the Hispidare and the thing? I would like to know. These are the things, I'm sorry I have to ask these questions, but these people have to know. It's all right. I mean, you've done this thing, you have thing, but what is the second level and the third level, most important of all? What is the 10-year plan for each of these subspecies? The golden langur, the clouded leopard, the Hispidare, and the Ullumora. Why do we forget the Ullumora? 7 of the most critically endangered species of this country are from Uchila to Basbari. And we would like to know what exactly you are doing for those. Coming further, and I will not take too much time, and please forgive me if I am harsh, but I have to say this because you are amongst friends and it matters. It matters to all of them. Forget me, I'll be dead and gone, but it matters to India. What you do to save those species are more important because, as I said, as mothers you should look after the ones which need the most help, not those which are the most glamorous. They can look after themselves. And the people will not allow them to go extinct. That's the most important part of it. Right. Anyway, I will not take up a thing. Yeah, but coming to Orang. Orang is lucky. Orang doesn't have the problems that the others do. But Orang, you should take up a little more. It's not the tigers. We all know about tigers. Incidentally, if that is of any interest to you, the Orang, if the official figures are correct, and I now start official figures, I doubt official figures because they are not always correct. But anyway, we take it at face value. If they are correct, Orang has the highest concentration of tiger in the world, not only in India. There you are. But that's not all about Orang. What about the Ullumor? What about the pygmy hog there, which is a second home? What about? We need to know everything about all those kind of a situation, and I better lay off. We haven't gone to about the white-winged wood duck, the Dibru Sekwa. Dibru Sekwa we all talked about its importance, but Dibru Sekwa is now 36% gone. I have published report which I just saw, 36% gone in 25 years. And I can understand the vagaries of nature, of the flooding. But what about encroachment? How many encroachers have you thrown out? Are we going to allow encroachment? I am more interested in how many encroachments you have removed than how many tigers there are there. Because that's what matters. They are the last havens of hope for Mother Nature to survive. And they cannot be encroached upon. Politics cannot come in the way and expedite extinction. Because if it does that, I think we are failing in our duty. Thank you.
Now we can have one question for each protected area because of paucity of time. But you will get opportunity to interact even during the lunch time. So, if you have more questions, you can definitely grab, during the lunch time. So, any questions, to start with Dibru Soikhwa? If not, then I will go to the next, if you have any questions for Orang National Park. I know because this is lunchtime almost, everybody is a little hungry since busy from the morning. But let me also act, my role as a chair. So any questions for Raimona National Park? Okay. And any, last question for Manas National Park? Okay. But please be brief so that, we can conclude. Yeah. So this one, yeah. Yeah. So Devodatta has some, comments. Yeah. Suggestion, yes.
Yeah, hello, sir. Yeah, this is Devo Kumar Datta. Yeah, so nice presentations. So I have only one simple questions because I did that rhino monitoring and the translocations of the Manas National Park since 2008 to 2021. So it's a long period. I involved with that monitoring and research on that area. So I have seen some anomalies in your numbers, the rhino numbers during the till 2021, and you have almost 38 rhino calf born in Manas. You displayed the 27. And almost last 22, we have seen some of the death of the rhinoceros. It's quite disturbing for us. And I would like to request you to, because in Manas, the rhino reintroduction program is one of the most flagship program where we get the present Manas. So I would like to request on the sim to revive the rhino monitoring that things, because you get the better results, because rhino in Manas is count for us, and we need to do a better protection for that. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the corrections. If there is some mistake, we'll do that. And I think you people know better than me because I am only 2 months old over here. So I think we'll all work together. We come over. I think we'll start with that, whatever we have been doing earlier also. I think we can continue with that also. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So we are almost end of this session, but before that, there's a certificate of appreciation for all the presenters. So, so I would like to request Mr. Khanindas to please come forward and then take the certificate from Ranjit Singh sir. This is the Forward Orang National Park, again from Ranjit Singh sir, to take the certificate. নাই ছাৰক মই মাতিম বুলি ভাবিছিলোঁ কিন্তু ছাৰে ফৰৱাৰ্ড কৰিছিল। And now we have Sonatan Beka. Yes. Thank you. And Dr. Ramesh also, we have a certificate of appreciation. We will arrange to send it to your office as soon as possible. And thanks for participating and sharing your experience. Thank you so much. Yes. So Sonatan Deka will carry this for you from here. Thank you so much. So with this, we are ending this session, and I hand it over to the organizers for any logistic announcement.
There will be a lunch break now, and we'll return to the same destination at 2:30.